Hello, I'm Melissa Carbonell and I'm with American Dream TV, and today we are here at the Office 954 with Jamie Maitland, the owner, creator, inventor. She's just everything, so I'm so happy to be with you here today.
Thank you so much.
We're going to learn all about the studio.
I'm excited to tell you about it.
Okay, so let's talk about where you started in fitness.
All right, where I started in fitness, believe it or not, I actually kind of started behind a bar. There is an infamous restaurant down here called Cafe Moderano, and I was a bartender there for about 6 years. And that just led me to meeting the coolest people in and around South Florida, which snowballed into an investor getting into our first, or my cousin and I's first, indoor cycling studio in East Fort Lauderdale. It was great, amazing, learned a lot. It pivoted me into a new world that I honestly didn't expect at the time, and I just feel like the universe had a bigger calling for me. So I ended up selling my shares of the studio in 2017, opened a new concept in 2019, and I couldn't do spin for 2 years. So I was like, well, that's fine. I was like, I'm not bound to spin. I was like, let me just do a weirdo one-off studio that had like a little bit of everything, because when I did sell my shares, I was going around to different gyms, trying different things, and I was like, I love the idea of let me box one day, let me do bar one day, you know, do a little bit of everything.
Right.
Almost like have like a little Frankenstein studio, right? You don't have to share any equipment, which is nice. So whatever station you're at is like your own little home, and you'll never get a repeated workout. Every workout's really different. Every instructor is very different. And that's just the space that I wanted to create, because I couldn't really find one. It's like I found a good boxing studio, but that boxing studio didn't have a bar class that I wanted to go to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in my opinion, this is the only studio in South Florida, a group fitness studio, that has this much variety.
So how did you figure out what needs to go? Because there's a lot of stuff in these stations that you have a lot of different types of workouts you can do. So how was that part of your decision? Like, did you know all at once, or did you add on over time?
I definitely knew I wanted 12. And then I was just like, well, it's on the instructor to make sure things go seamless, right? So I know how to instruct people, like keeping things tight. Keep their weight rack here, have the bands to the right, the cloth bands to the left. So it took a little bit. I wouldn't say I like knew it right out the gate, but I'm one of those brains that like I'll throw paint on the wall and then I'll start to get pictures. So we basically just like got all the equipment in here, and then I just started like
sorting it out. Okay.
Yeah, and then like I said, I knew I wanted boxing, so like this was a big part of the design process. Like we had to actually start with the bags first and then build around that, because that was like number one. So there's a lot of logistics that it's like you see it when you walk in, but if people really knew like really what went into this thing.
Okay, so we went through your fitness journey, but you're so much more than that. And you have tapped into all the health and wellness and all the stuff, and food and the gut. So tell us about what started you on that and your program that everyone loves.
Thank you. So the fitness side of things, it just kind of evolved, right? Like I had a bunch of clients ask me like, oh, what do I eat after the workout? What do I do after this? And on a personal note, I would say like around like, even before I opened this place, I was getting on like the gut health journey, like just wanting to eat better, feel better. And it wasn't about counting macros. It was really more of like on a cellular level, like, do I have energy? Am I sleeping good? Do I feel good? You know, that kind of vibe. So fast forward to 2020, the world stopped. And I don't know, I just had time to think about things. And I was drinking protein a lot at the time. And I was like, oh, this could be so much better. Kind of the same vibe that like how the spin studio started. And it just kind of morphed. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get certified. So I became a certified holistic nutritionist, got an advanced gut health certification as well. And I remember saying to one of my instructors in 2020, when we were about to reopen, I was like, everybody just needs a reset. They were saying that word. So my instructor and I at the time created this program called the 21-Day Reset, and she actually ran the first one. It was a little more macro focused. Long story short, the second one I ended up kind of taking over and just made it my own. And I had this vision of like, I need to make like using your brain like the forefront of this program, because again,
why do you make us use our brains?
Because it really does, and it's just it's literally the most sophisticated computer on the planet. It's between your ears, and it's literally yours to use if you feel like it, and it's a superpower. So having that be like the epicenter of the 21-day reset, we got a little deeper. So the reset is basically 21 days of no dairy, no sugar, no lectins, no gluten. Got to get your water in and your workouts. And I know that sounds like a lot.
No.
But it's not so much about all the no's. It's more about like just removing things out of your diet. Sometimes when you take away has a bigger impact than what you add versus like, well, I need to buy this now. I need to buy this supplement. It's not about that. Essentially, the 21-day reset at its core is an environment designed for you to really use your brain for 21 days.
I know you have a lot of big plans and a lot of things coming. We'll talk about that maybe on another episode. But if there's one thing you want people to know right now, like what should they be thinking about in their lives? What do you want to leave with the audience today?
I want to ignite thought with them. I want to remind them that they are quite literally a superhuman. We just have to remember that. Like I said earlier, we have the most sophisticated computer between our ears. Using our brain is your superpower. You just have to remember to keep it on. Living consciously is a thing, and not to get all deep, but only about 5% of people can give their brain a command and actually follow through and do that on a regular basis. Some of the most successful people are able to execute that.
I'm Melissa Carbonell. Thank you so much for watching American Dream TV and spending time with us here at the Office 954.